Hey, guys. So this week we're talking all about aligned action and how important aligned action is when you are trying to manifest your desires, to create a business that you love, to do all of the things that are most important to you. Now, alignment is one of those words that people throw around a whole heck of a lot, but not everybody really knows what the heck it is or why the heck it's important. So let's talk a little bit about that first. What is alignment? Alignment is a fancy word for let's just say you have a blank canvas and you have a paintbrush in your hand. And I ask you to draw a line down that canvas with the paintbrush in your hand. Is that line going to look the same for every single person who draws it? No. Is that line going to be perfectly straight? No. Is that line going to have the same width or breadth or depth or anything? No. It's going to be different for every single person. Think of your alignment like that beautiful swath of color that you've thrown across the canvas and that you know just feels right for the one line that you're going to draw. This is what it's like when you're in alignment, when you're walking your line in path, when you're walking your path. It is actually your authentic truth. It is actually your authentic expression of what is right for you. It is your expression of what is connected between you and the universe. Think about it this way. That creative spark, if I gave you that blank canvas, all the colors in the world and whatever thickness of paintbrush you want to use, and said, draw me a line on that canvas, how would you know what to paint? How would you know what color to choose? How would you know what paintbrush to use? You would know it instinctively. You would know it internally. You would know it intuitively. You would know it through your inner channel, which I talk about a lot. You would know it through a connection of, I can trust my leadership. I can trust myself because I know what feels right. I know what's right for me. I'm going to pick turquoise and I'm going to pick, what are those? A roller, because that's what I want to do is I want to put a big roller of turquoise up the middle of this canvas, whereas somebody else is going to pick the finest little skinny little paintbrush, and they're just going to pick black and they're going to pick one little tiny line up the middle. Is one right and one wrong? Or are they all perfectly right for the person who knows what they want and trusts themselves? Exactly. You know the answer to that. You know the answer to that. Every single one of them is right because every single one of them is right for that person. Every single one of them is right for the individual who is painting that line. And that is what alignment is like. Alignment isn't there's one right line that we all need to make sure we arrive, agree on. No, how boring would that be? No way. Alignment is following what's right for you. It's following that inner channel. It's following those divine downloads. It's following that instinctual knowing this is the thing that I want and this is the thing that lights me up and this is the thing that's right. And this, my friends, is why this is such a core component of, the programs I do with my clients. This is why it's such a core component of manifesting what it is that you desire in your life. This is why it's such a core component of trusting your leadership. This is why it's such a core component of being that empowered CEO, because it is implicit self-trust. Because you don't sit there and question yourself, should I pick this paintbrush? Should I pick this color? No, you just paint the dang line. You just paint the dang line. And so when you acknowledge and trust that you have this knowing inside of you, what happens is you become the expert in your life and in your business, and you trust yourself. And so the next question is, what the heck does alignment actually feel like? I think you're probably getting the picture already of what it feels like, because you can imagine yourself picking up that paintbrush and any color of paint in the world and making the choice for yourself and it just feeling good and you not knowing why you chose it. It's just the right one for you. That's what it feels like, my friends. That's what alignment feels right. It feels good. It feels like you're on the right path. It feels like the right choice for you. It feels nourishing and nurturing, and it feels exciting, and it feels pleasurable and playful and fun and delightful. All of the words that I love to say. It doesn't feel like effort. It doesn't feel depleting. Can you imagine picking out a paintbrush and picking out a color of paint being depleting and like, oh, I gotta go do this thing, instead of like, cool, and it feeling natural. You make me feel like a natural painter. Because you are. You are. You are a natural painter. You are a natural in terms of your alignment. You are a natural manifester. You are a natural leader. You are a natural CEO in your business. It's just getting all the crap out of the way that has told you that you're not. So allowing these things to bloom forth from within you instead of forcing them to happen. Alignment is never this feeling of force. It's never this feeling of, gotta. It's this feeling of, this is what I want. This is what I'm going to do. Here's another example that just popped into my head. It's like going to a restaurant and ordering something off the menu. Do you feel like somebody's coming up to you with a gun to your head, like, hurry up, make the choice. You got to make all the choices, order all the things. Oh my gosh. Yet that's the way we make decisions in our business a lot of times, from that anxiety, from that I have to, from that push, from that force, from that hustle energy. It just doesn't work. Instead of going, what would delight me today? What would be yummy today? What do I want today? That we normally feel when we go to a restaurant and we're looking at the menu. At least if they've got a decent menu and it's not like a shit restaurant, right? If you're in a shit restaurant, then it's not even that you're asking about alignment. It's that you need to get a whole new canvas before you're ready to paint, because your canvas is full of old crap. That's another analogy that I really love to say a lot is when we don't work on our limiting beliefs, when we don't work on the subconscious junk in our trunk, when we don't release that shit, when we don't remove all of these chronic stressors and traumas and regulate our nervous system and all of this stuff that we need to release and let go of to make way for our creative genius and our alignment, what happens is it's like cooking a gourmet meal and then serving it on a dirty plate. And then we wonder why, our spaghetti tastes like pancakes. And we're like, this is not right. Because we're on the pancake plate from the morning trying to eat our spaghetti from the evening. So we need to clean our plate before we serve our gourmet meal, which is our alignment, or alignment is a piece of it. That inner channel is a piece of it. That empowered CEO mindset is another piece of it. It all comes together in this beautiful conglomeration of joy, pleasure, fun, delight in our business, in our life, more freedom, more impact, more income, all of the things that we want. So what do you need in order to feel in alignment? The third point today. The third point today is you need to connect with your feelings. Obviously, if alignment's supposed to feel good and natural and like expansive and wonderful and delightful, you have to allow yourself to feel the feelings in order to feel whether or not it feels right. It's not a mental thing. It's not a thinky think thing. It's not a, what is the pro-con list telling me about this? No, it's a feeling your way into that connection with what's the right paint stroke for me. It's feeling this sense of self-trust. It feels like self-trust. You don't question which paintbrush to pick out, and which line to put, in which direction to do the line, and which hand to hold the paintbrush. Should I do it with my right hand or my left hand? No, you just don't ask that. It's also feeling worthy of it, feeling worthy of that alignment. I'm thinking of like a shy child who is in an art studio maybe for the first time and comes up to a canvas and doesn't know if they're allowed, doesn't know if they're worthy of taking up the space or dirtying the canvas with their line, of making that big of a splash, of putting that much color out into the world. But you're worthy of putting as much color as you want to out into the world and on that canvas. And feeling as though you get to take up that space and you get to put that color out there, and feeling as though it has value just inherent because it comes from you. Having confidence in your brushstroke and what hand to put up. Having belief in your right to be there. Belief in your ability to put ink on paper, paint on canvas, right? and feeling as though you get to color in this world. You get to be the creative genius in your life, in your business. Now, the next point is, how do you find your alignment? What do you do to actually find your alignment? Well, in order to find your alignment, you need to, number one, open up and trust that inner channel within you. Be able to listen and have a conversation with those inner whispers that are inviting you to more, that are giving you new opportunities, that are like that hallway in Beetlejuice that's, got the checkered floor and has all the doors going down it. And you're just like, which door do I want to take? You have to trust that part of yourself, and you have to open up to it so that you can feel confidence, so that you can feel clarity, so that you don't get brought down by the wobbles, all of that stuff. You need to feel that trust, not just in those divine downloads and that inner channel, but in yourself, in your capacity to hear, in your capacity to tune in your capacity to be the leader and the chooser and the captain of your own ship, of your own business, of your own life. And what that also takes is prioritizing yourself and your preferences and saying that I freaking matter. I freaking matter. What I want matters. And damn it, I get to have it. So often we don't manifest what we want in our lives because we don't actually give ourselves permission to want what we actually want. And we dim it down and we shrink it down and we make it small. And so here's this beautiful big ass canvas that we can take the roller with turquoise and just paint the whole thing is covered in blue. So that's what I want to do. But instead I go, well, what if they tell me that's not a line? Maybe I should get one of the small ones. Maybe I should get one of the small paintbrushes. That's not alignment. That's not alignment with our desires. That's not allowing ourselves space to do what it is that we want, to do it our way, to follow our own internal leadership that says, I know the path, I know the way forward. And in order to do that, in order to connect ourselves with that, we've got to drop the guilt. We've got to drop the people pleasing, the fawn response that comes from a dysregulated nervous system. We've got to drop the codependent need to make everyone else around us happy at the detriment to ourselves. And we've got to make sure that we're at the top of the heap, the top of the pile, the front of the line, because that's when all the rest of the cascade happens. When one boat rises, all boat rises. Whenever we're talking about money mindset, we're talking about success, or we're talking about choosing what we want for freaking dinner, when we allow ourselves and give ourselves permission to have the thing that we really want, and we come from this conscious place, this place where we're connected to more divine love, all of this beautiful, amazing energy, what happens is everyone's lives around us improve as well. When I'm cooking what I want for dinner and I'm cooking it with love, everybody enjoys the meal more than when I'm cooking something that I don't want to cook and I'm just slapping it on the table. That's a really good example. So asking yourself what would make me happy, would delight me. And this is why I talk so much about delight, play, pleasure, and fun. Because when you come from that energy, your manifestations happen faster. When you come from that energy, your success comes easier. When you come from that energy, your income increases at a rate that you wouldn't believe. It all comes together. When you're in alignment, things feel good, even if they are quote unquote work. Like recording these podcasts. Technically, I'm sitting here and I'm doing work, but I'm having fun. I love doing the things that I do in my business, even the things that aren't as quote unquote fun, like, I don't know, double checking the URLs on an email or something, or double checking a social media post or something. I'm not a detail person. I don't enjoy that. But what I do enjoy is I love connecting with my clients. And I know that helps me connect with my clients and I can connect the dots. So this is a key component to bending our reality, to manifesting our reality, to creating through play, pleasure, and fun. The last piece I want to talk about here is staying in alignment. How do we stay in alignment? How do we keep painting that line up and down the canvas? We ask ourselves what feels good. We enter into that play, pleasure, and fun energy, and we take aligned action. We take action. You can think all day and night about painting that line up the canvas, but until you actually take the paintbrush into your hand and do it, it's just a thought. It's hope. It's just a wish. It's just a fantasy. It's never, ever a manifestation. You always have to take action in order for things to happen. Because when you're in alignment, that's the thing. You can't actually help yourself from taking action because you become more decisive. You are more willing to take risks. You are more willing to do weird, crazy impulses, which seem kind of silly, like going to the coffee shop at 9:00 at night, even though you don't drink coffee that late, just because an impulse told you to. And that's the power of alignment.